Oh, and I'm live. Hey guys, this is Yobi checking in, and yeah, I it's been a while since we chatted. Lots changed, lots of stuff has been going on, so just thought I'd come on and start chatting. So I'll be answering any questions, some questions that I've gotten on my YouTube page, and also maybe I'll be talking about a couple of different subjects, things in the news, stuff like that. So don't hesitate. I'm gonna close that YouTube video. Where's that YouTube video? Hearing the feedback. Oh, and I'm live. Hey guys, this is Yobi Check. Sorry guys, have to just close that up. Anyway, yeah, so like the title says, it's a live chat talking about Japan, talking about back to Canada, and talking about anything to do with games and stuff like that too, whatever you guys want to chat about. You guys probably don't know, but I'm also a pretty big gamer, so the new Smash Bros is coming out tomorrow in Japan, and me and my little DS friend are getting excited, so maybe I'm gonna swing by and pick that up. Let me just share this link out from YouTube real quick, and I'll get right back to you guys. Okay. It's been so long. And today we'll be having some 7-Eleven wine and some 7-Eleven water. Brought to you by our sponsors, not 7-Eleven. Okay, let me see. ちょっと待って。皆さんちょっと待ってお願いします。少々お待ちください。はい。どう言えばいいかな。じゃあね。I don't have any viewers yet, I hope. Video manager. Oh, one viewer. Hello, one viewer. How are you today? Nice to see you. I do not know what the link is for this. Let me find. Oh, here's the link. What am I thinking? YouTube page. Share it. Ready. Here we go. So yeah, I don't know if I'm too excited about the Smash Bros. Game. I guess I'll just chat about that real quick. You know, like, we'll see how it turns out. You know, like the real game is going to be good on Wii, I imagine, but I don't know if it's going to pick up enough steam, especially in North America. Not everybody is rocking their DSs in America as much, so we'll see how that turns out. But I might just pick it up. We'll see. Okay. Okay, and we're live. I guess should I share it on my page? I guess I'll share it on my real Facebook page. Ooh. Let's see how many peeps we can get today. How many? Can we start chatting? I'm gonna get some wine in. Just came from dinner. It's a pretty decent day working today. I had a big project. Not big, you know, decently big project that I was getting ready for a month, and so I was doing a presentation at the government office. I was doing a presentation about my home province, Alberta, and it was last Friday. So I had been making like a lot of posters and a lot of signs and things like that, getting ready for the event, and then I had to write a speech and memorize that. Well, not memorize it, but get it down so I can do the speech in front of everybody in Japanese. And it went okay. It wasn't perfect, but you know, it was a good learning experience for sure. I think I think when it comes to time management, I can probably give myself more time, maybe, instead of having to rush it as much as I did. But it was still a good experience. Today, the mug of choice is my Tokyo mug, my Tokyo Starbucks mug. So I'm almost there. I'm 3 down of I think the 12 or 14 in Japan. Maybe next time I go to, I have the Tokyo, Nagoya, and Sapporo. So I need to get Yokohama and all these other places. So if I have some friends out in Yokohama, like like Loco or somebody like that, hook it up, please hook it up. So yeah, I was pretty swamped with that, so I wasn't working at the academy as much, which is the curling academy. I had missed a few of the practices for a couple weeks, but yeah, everybody's pretty busy in the academy itself. A lot of the girls have their big tournaments coming up, the qualifiers for the Asian Pacific Games and things like that. So that's really cool. So the girls that just went to Sochi, they're in fighting form and they're ready to go. And the other teams from the academy are pretty strong. So I guess I never explained it. The way that it works is the curling academy is provided or sponsored or run by the Hokkaido government, and so all the different teams from Hokkaido get to participate in the camp, which they get to take part in training camps, they get to take part in coaching lessons with the Canadian head coach, and they get to go to Canada, and they get to go to all over Hokkaido and things like that and train and get ready. So that's part of our job, is to help them and get them ready and create an environment where they can succeed, as the tagline says on the mission statement. So yeah, it's really cool. But I think the coolest thing is just seeing how hard these ladies work, and it's pretty motivating to watch them. And the thing I like about it is that I met a lot of them, and I didn't even realize they were really famous. Um, you know that they're like Olympians and things like that, but you didn't realize that they're that famous. But it's like a lot of people know who these ladies are, and I'm glad that I kind of met them before I knew how famous they were, because now it's a better repertoire, I think. Whereas I am a little shy, I think, when it comes to them, because they are famous now. Or no, they've always been famous, but I didn't know how famous they were. So that's kind of cool, and getting to work with them and help them out. I don't do a really good job with them a lot of the times, because my level of Japanese isn't good enough. So I really owe them for giving me the chance to make all the mistakes I do while they're practicing. So you know, there's enough good English speakers on their team that they're okay. A lot of the girls in the academy, like the teams are pretty much groups of 4 or 5. Usually there's at least one good English speaker per group, so you know when I'm not there, it's not a huge burden. Like they can kind of make it out, but I think hopefully that when I'm there, it's a little bit more helpful and things like that. So all the girls are in Karuizawa right now, and they're all taking part in the tournament for the Asian Pacific qualifiers or something like that. So that's what's going on mainly this month. They're going to be done that, and right now we're just focusing on the other girls in the academy, the other teams, and I get to focus on that now, which is good. And I get to focus on studying Japanese, which is good, and which is what I just finished doing. I finished studying Japanese too, and that's going okay. I can kind of see myself slowly getting better, but I wish I would have been better by now, but still got a long way to go. And so my September is looking pretty busy this week, just focusing on the academy and interpreting. And then the next week I'll be going to Incheon. Incheon. I don't know what the English pronunciation is. Incheon, maybe same thing. Incheon, where the Olympics will be held in 2018. I'll be there for the Asian Games, which is like the track and field games that are taking place. So I get to go to the opening ceremony event, something like that, on the 19th, or sorry, the 20th. And I'm going to go as an interpreter for somebody in my office, and we're going to go and we're going to promote training camps in Hokkaido. So that's really cool. I've never been to Korea before. I don't know what to expect, and I don't really know what's happening. It's exactly a week away, and I'm not 100% sure what I'll be doing, but I'm gonna get my suit ready, and I'm gonna polish my shoes, and I'm gonna do the best I can. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of the times with these translation gigs or interpretation gigs, it's like you don't really get any details until like last minute sometimes. So it can be kind of challenging sometimes, I think, just because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And even if you could kind of know what you're getting into, it's still like a lot of stuff that you probably aren't expecting or not prepared for, or, so it's kind of doing it live. So that's my slogan, doing it live. So I'm gonna be going twice actually for next weekend, not this one, like the next day, or not this week, upcoming weekend, but the week following this weekend, and then the following weekend as well. I'll be going back to Korea for 4 days, and then, as the title of this video says, back to Canada. I'm so freaking excited to go back to Canada. I can't wait to go back to Canada. I've been waiting to go back to Canada. I haven't been back for a year, so I'm officially flying out of Narita on the 29th, which means I'll be back in Canada on the 29th. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I mentioned in my last video, I'm gonna run and get a big cup of Tim Hortons. As cliche and as stupid as that sounds, I don't give a frick. I'm excited for Tim Hortons and shit. But yeah, so my ticket's bought, ready to fly out, and so I'll be gone for a month. So I'll be flying back from my hometown on the 29th of October. So I'm just missing Halloween, but I'll be spending Halloween weekend in Tokyo before coming back to Sapporo. So that's what my September is looking like, and so it's not going to be a very long September at all. It's going to whiz by. Let me see if any of this Q&A stuff is going on. Oh, feature is disabled. ごめんなさい。間違えた。すみません。皆さんこんにちは。少し日本語で話そう。いやー、わからないけど、ちょっと恥ずかしい。でもさ、できれば日本語でも質問聞いてよろしいよ。じゃあ、どうする Maybe I'll answer some questions. Let's see. Next question. I'll answer a question right now. What's the first question? Michael Mosley asked, what is 3,000 yen equivalent in US dollars? I'm pretty sure you can Google that, guys. Not to be rude, but you'll get a much quicker response, and you'll also you'll get a much quicker response and a more accurate response if you just Google it. I don't know. That's the one thing. Not to hate on YouTubers or anything like, or people who watch YouTube videos. But why do you guys ask questions that you can like Google and like just find out and Google, like asking me the currency exchange of the value of money in yen to whatever country you're from? I don't know. Why don't you guys Google it? Not to be rude, like not to hate on you guys or anything, but it's just like it doesn't make sense because I'm gonna not be able to answer that question right away. So you're gonna forget by the time I email you back. If you just wanna like talk to me, feel free, like send me a question. But yeah. But then he also asked, really informative video. He's talking about my life in Japan grocery shopping video. Do you teach English over there, or are you just 何書いてるかな？ちょっと待って、皆さんちょっと待ってお願いします。
例えば、靴を買うとき。
はい、すいません。はい。少々お待ちください。He squints his eyes. It's really annoying. I think I read that before. Let's see. No top comments. US first. How does price? Rick in Gothic asks, bruh, how does price grocery compare in Japan and USA? I don't know USA, but in Canada, I think Japan might be a little bit more expensive for some things, like the things that I'm like pretty used to ordering and eating and stuff. So that's kind of a shame. That's really quite a shame. I don't enjoy that, but it's not too bad. Hello, one viewer. How are you? Nice to see you. I have one viewer. Are you lonely in there, one viewer? It's okay. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much the plan for that. So once I get back in November, I guess. Wow, it's gonna be November. It's gonna be Broomball, Canadian Broomball Tournament champion or World Broomball Championship in Sapporo. So that's gonna be freaking exciting. I've never watched or heard of broomball before, but it seems like it's a pretty big deal for the Canadian government and the Japanese government and stuff. So, if it looks like hockey, maybe it's cool. We'll check it out. Aside from the broomball, in November, at the end of November, I should be going to Dubai, which I might have mentioned in the video before, but I'll be going to Dubai, which is really cool. And that's pretty much that major update in terms of work and stuff like that. The interpreting is going okay, I think. I feel like I'm slowly getting the hang of it more and more. I just need to keep exercising my translation muscle. So I'm really excited that like that one major project, the presentation is out of the way last week, and now I can just focus on studying Japanese and interpreting, which is the more fun part of the job, which is like realistically like it's like the beginning of practice, maybe 2 times throughout the practice, 2 or 3 times, and then at the end of practice. So it's really like 4 or 5 conversations that I'm interpreting in an hour maybe. So it's like there's a lot of downtime, and I wish I could do something in the meantime, but at the same time it's okay. So anyway, let's take a look at any questions or anything interesting for you guys. Let's go to Yobi in Japan on my Facebook page and see. Anyway, life in Japan's going pretty good. I'm gonna speak frankly. I've been getting kind of homesick lately. It's been the longest that I've been gone, so it's kind of hit home. Like, sorry, I gotta stretch. Anyway, I've been gone for a long time, so I'm kind of excited to get back. And things have been going okay, I guess. How much do I want to talk about that stuff? Yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys about that stuff. So I made some friends in Sapporo, and it was pretty good. But I'm not the kind of guy that calls people up and asks them to come hang out a lot. It's more along the lines like I usually wait for people to call and invite me. So I think I could be making better friends if I was more proactive and trying to invite and hang out with people. But I don't know why I'm so busy. I don't think I work more than the average person, but I just always feel like I have something that I have to do that I can't do something else. So it's like it gets frustrating sometimes, but we'll see. This weekend I have my 4th curling game. Yeah, my 4th game, 5th for my team. And I'm really excited because last game we actually almost won until the last end. So if you guys watch curling, big on you. But curling is actually really cool. It's really interesting. I like it a lot. And when I go back to Canada, I'll probably play a little bit of curling too if I can find a good team or find a team that wants me. But anyway, I had the chance to win it and I lost it, and it just made me want to play it more. It's really like chess. I really like it. So actually, I'm excited to go to work. I'm actually excited to go to work to like just watch it, which is kind of weird now. Like, I didn't expect that I'd like it that much, but anyway, I like it. I like curling. Oh, Totemite. And we'll go to Mr. Twitter for a question. So, Jose David Borden asked, at Yobi1, what good places for sightseeing within the city of Sapporo you recommend? Good question. I don't know if I've answered that. Within Sapporo itself, the places that I've been, I really haven't gone well, I guess I've gone sightseeing. I can't lie. I guess I have gone sightseeing, but the places I would recommend, one is the Sapporo Beer Museum. Tour is kind of short, but the museum itself is kind of cool, and the beer hall that they have at the museum is worth going to. It's worth going to sample the beers. The filter just changed. Ooh, I guess the filter's changing depending on where my face is. Anyway, The beer hall is really cool, and they have their specialty Genghis Khan, which is the barbecued lamb in Sapporo, which it's really famous for. So if you guys come to Sapporo and you check that out, it's well worth it just to go to the beer museum. Next thing, they have the Olympic ski jump place. I forget the name of it. Omotaro, or I don't know. I forget what the name is. But anyway, they have the place where the ski jump was made for the Olympics in '72, and they have like an Olympic Hall of Fame there, an Olympic Museum or something like that, which is worth checking out. But it also has like the best view of the city. It's fantastic. It's sublime. If you guys check out my Instagram, which is just at Yobi, you can probably find some of the pictures that I took from the top. It was fantastic. So those are two things. Third, of course, is nightlife kind of main area, which is Suskino. It's the Shibuya, it's the Shinjuku of Sapporo. I live like right next to there, so I'm like right in the heat of it all the time. So that's kind of cool to live downtown and close to, but it's not really a site for me to go see. But there's the clock tower and Odori Park, which is cool too. Odori Park is kind of like a big central park area. It's not a lot of green, but it's just like a one whole like 7 blocks, like a central strip in the middle of Sapporo that has a lot of places for people to sit down and chill and hang out, which is kind of cool. To the people that are watching on your channels, you guys can tweet me questions at EOB1. And if you guys are live right now, you guys can just tweet those to me and I'll answer them right away for you guys too. And you'll probably get all your questions answered if you ask them. So go for it. There's also the clock tower, which is modeled after the same Tokyo clock tower and Nagoya clock tower. I think those are the 3 clock towers in Japan. I haven't been up there yet, but maybe I'll go sometime. Myself, I'm not really like a sightseeing person. I might have mentioned that before. I really just like chilling, so the everyday life is more what I'm interested in, really. So yeah, there's that. Thanks for the question, Jose. Cabron, por favor. Let's see. Portal asks, at Yobi1, I want to go to Japan to see the 4th Evangelion movie. If I buy an advance ticket, does that guarantee me a seat? Exactly. That's exactly what an advance ticket means. So, I don't know if you're trying to buy it from abroad or not, but if you can buy tickets in advance for Japan for uh, theaters. You can actually even pick the exact seat that you sit in. I don't know how far in advance you have to buy them. I don't even know when the 4th Evangelion movie is coming out. I haven't seen any posters or anything like that. So I don't know if it's coming out soon. But some other movies that are out right now that I just saw. I saw the Roaring Kenshin movie. I mentioned that in the last video. That was like the best anime movie adaptation I've ever seen. It's right up there. Like the first one was fantastic. The second one is awesome. And the spoilers, the third one is gonna be freaking cool as hell. It's gonna be cool as hell. So Portal, definitely. Thank you for that question. So I'm gonna roll down a little bit, see what's up with people. Anywhere else? I know that I didn't really mention this in advance, guys, but next time maybe I'll try to schedule one for you guys. Exactly, we'll see. But I just threw it out there live for you guys today, just because I was in the mood to chat. Little bit. Okay. Let's just check something. Let's check that out. Let me see. I think this is broadcasting. I don't know. Is it on YouTube? Where are my videos? Let me just try a different way. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think it's working. Wow. I don't know why I'm getting so many views or subscribers. I haven't been posting, but thank you guys for subscribing. That makes me feel super, super good. And we'll see the comments. So Alex G asks, is it hard to find translation jobs in Japan for Spanish and Russian? I don't know. I've seen postings for them like on gaijinpod.com, but I don't know specifically. But I assume that there are always jobs for that type of thing. So there's got to be some international relations between those departments. In my international, like in the department that I work that is international relations, the three major interpreters that they have or people that they have that do interpretation work are English, Korean, and Chinese. So I haven't seen Russian and Spanish yet, but if you go to like Nagoya specifically, I know Nagoya has a lot of Portuguese population, so there's a lot of opportunity there for people who speak Portuguese to be interpreters. So I don't know specifically about Spanish, but I imagine in Tokyo or something like that, there's some work there. But you're gonna have to search that up. I don't know any translators that are Russian translators or anything like that. Let's see. But thank you for your question, Alex. That was a good question. So anyway, like I mentioned, I'll be going back to Canada, and my plan is I'll be in my hometown of Edmonton. Shout outs to my friends in Edmonton or anybody from Edmonton that might watch. I'll be in Edmonton for 1 week, which is really cool. I hope I get a chance to show the players and the people my city a little bit. I'm really proud of my city, so that would be cool if I could show them a little something about my hometown. And yeah, so there's that part, and then next we're gonna be in Calgary for 10 days, and that's pretty cool too. And I gotta I'm gonna look forward to that as much as I can, and that's the Edmontonian in me kind of busting on Calgary, but Calgary's kind of cooler than Edmonton anyway. And then the last 7 days is in Medicine Hat before we go back to Edmonton, and well, I'll go back to Edmonton, I'll go back to Calgary, and then I will stay in Edmonton, and I'll stay an extra week before flying back to Tokyo, and then I'll chill in Tokyo for a few days. So it's going to be a super busy month, and it's going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so shout outs to that. That's going to be fun. Good times all around. I don't know what to expect from the training camp. Like, I know we're gonna have a lot of practices. There's also gonna be a lot of tournaments. There's gonna be 3 separate tournaments that they're gonna participate in, and basically 3 different teams that are operating at the same time within each of those venues and competitions and things like that. So I think my work volume will be a lot more, of course, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. So in this meantime, in September, I'm going to study and cram and get as good at Japanese as I can, so I can do my best to interpret and help out the coach. I really love the coach. He's such a cool guy, like just an honest, nice person, and I want to do my best so he can do his best, because he's really talented and I respect him a lot. So I wish that I'm not going to say wish. I'm going to do my best to get stronger so I can help him out. But yeah, he's such a cool guy. Nice, nice person. There's a lot of nice people in the world. I don't know why people always say hate in the world. But there's nice people in the world if you look for them, guys. If you look for them. So any interesting news stories that we should chat about? I'm going to take a quick look. Um, hmm. yeah, maybe that's it. I don't think I have very much else to chat about right now, guys. I think that's my update, and if there's no other questions, I don't really know what to do. Pretty much told you guys what's up, so I guess I'll end it in a couple minutes, so it'll just be a 30-minute chat today. So if there's any last second questions you guys want to ask, feel free to ask them. I'm going to check my Twitter real quick, see if anybody asked me questions. Is it better to tweet you questions than leaving a YouTube comment? Well, that just answered it. I'm getting both of them, but um, let's see this question that I just got asked. Maybe this will be the second last question. I'll take one more question after that. But just give me a second. Just give me a second while it's loading. I think next time, like, asking questions on Twitter are fine. If you guys have any questions you want to ask me real quick, just do it up. So Alex G asks, how would you say the Japanese work ethic mentality is different from one in Canada / US? Would it be difficult for an American to adjust? That is such a perfect question, and it deals directly with what I'm going through in my work day every day now. Like, thank you for that question. The Japanese work ethic, the difference between Canada and, I'll speak with Canada because I don't know much about the US, but or I don't know much about the US work ethic, but there's a big difference between the work ethic between Canada and Japan. And what I mean by that is that it's a really different environment. Like, the office is such a different environment from what I'm used to in Canada. Keep in mind, like, I've worked in offices, I've worked in a lot of places in Canada. I know what an office life is like. I was working in my university, and that was a really office-oriented environment, of course. It was kind of business casual attire, things like that. But I work in the government office in Hokkaido, and I find it really stuffy, really quiet, really, like, stiff, you know. And in terms of the work ethic, they just do preparation. Like, I'm not even gonna say preparation. For example, if there's a project, like, everybody, like, Canadians prepare and Japanese people prepare, but I think the level of preparation that the people in Japan do borders on, like, almost not insane, but it's pretty crazy. Like, they like to be super prepared, super have everything out. They like to have 100 meetings before the event. They have to have like 100 practice run-throughs, things like that. But, like, you know, in Canada we're kind of more laid back, not laid back, but it's a lot different. And me personally, I don't enjoy the work office environment as much as I do being, like, out in the field in terms of interpretation. I don't. Well, that's me just personally. Like, I like working in a loud environment. I don't like being in a quiet office environment. So, but you can see the kind of the work ethic, and I guess I'll use curling and sports as well as work ethic. Like, I'll use that to describe the work ethic. For example, this is not speaking specifically about any of the people that I work with, but what I've been told a lot from a lot of different people, the difference between the athletes in Japan and the athletes in different countries. The athletes in Japan will practice a million times, and it's something that I've seen. I've seen it in the elementary schools, junior highs. I've seen it in the practices for everything. Well, they'll practice something a million times until they feel like, you know, that they've got it. So they'll practice something a million times. So, like, when I used to watch the girls do basketball practice, they would do layups for the entire hour practice. They would just do layups, 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 layups until they would just repeat it a million times. Whereas in Canada, that would drive you crazy. You know, like, that level of repetition and doing the same thing, like, that would just kind of make you snap in your mind a little bit, or get bored or something like that. Like, me personally, I would just be like, what, like, how am I gonna just do this like a million times today? Like, I need a little bit of variety. I need to mix it up. I need to keep it fresh. So, you know, you kind of see that. So, like, when Canadian, like, I'll speak with my sports teams, when we used to practice, like, yeah, we would practice the basics and the things that we need to practice, but we'd also, like, have scrimmages, have games, have, like, you know, mix it up, make it interesting, like, put some competitive edge on it. But there's none of that, like, in the work ethic office. They just want to do everything you know, through repetition, repetition, repetition a million times until they feel they have it, which is fantastic. But there's a difference between being able to do something in practice and actually being able to do it in the actual field, which is where you see kind of the things kind of fall down. Because as much as you can prepare so much for a plan, but if you don't have creative thinking and flexibility, the day of the event or the day of something, if something goes wrong and it's not according to plan, you're going to just collapse, which is something that you see in the work environment as well as like athletes in Japan. Like you see them be so proficient in practice and so technically sound, but when they come up with a situation that they're not used to in terms of like maybe a situation in a game in terms of strategy, or if it's something like something goes wrong on the day of the event, like they're just like, I don't know what to do. Oh my god, and they just kind of freak out and they stress out. So you know they feel like if they prepare so much in advance that they won't have that kind of mishap. But the thing with like I feel like with me in terms of myself, I don't know if it's Canada in general, but I feel like my creative, flexible thinking is, you know, like something's gonna go wrong. Nothing is gonna go perfectly according to plan. You can plan and plan and plan, but there's only a certain limit that you can plan efficiently. Everything else is gonna be kind of a waste of your energy. Whereas you need to have creative thinking at the same time. So I'll give you an example, just like a stupid example from my work week. When we're doing the presentation, it was of course in like a lobby with where we needed speakers and we needed like a PowerPoint presentation and projection and things like that. So of course they wanted to rehearse it. So I'm like, yeah, we can rehearse it. So yeah, so we were gonna rehearse a couple times and stuff like that. And so something went wrong on the last day, and where I was supposed to have a wireless, like a USB Wi-Fi internet thing, where the person that usually has it left it at home, and they didn't bring it the day of that we needed it. So the person that I was doing the presentation with, he just kind of freaked out. He's like, "Oh my God, what are we're gonna do?" And he's like stressing, and he was letting it affect him right before the presentation. Whereas in my mind, I was thinking, well, we have this option, we have option A, B, C, or D. Worst comes to worst, we can make it work. But I, I wasn't worrying about being stressed and like letting it get to me and like being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you know. So, um, whereas he didn't even think of those options. He didn't even. He was just like, we don't have the thing that we needed. Blah 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 blah. Like we're gonna be screwed. Like I don't know what we're gonna do, and he was already stressing. Whereas, like me, I'm not gonna waste my energy on that stress. I'm just gonna think, what's A, B, C, D? Give me all the other options. It's kind of the same thing you see in like when the people have some practices in terms of the curlers. Like they practice a shot a million times. They practice a situation, a strategy a million times, and so they're like, when A happens, I have to do B. When it's this, I have to do this. So they always think that there's a perfectly right answer. But that's not the case when it comes to sports, right? Like those kind of situations. So sometimes when they get to a situation of something that they haven't seen, they're just like, I don't know what to do. And it's that lack of creative thinking. So to answer your question, that's the difference that I see in terms of the work environment, the work ethic. I feel like we value creative thinking and thinking outside the box and being flexible, and that means a lot of different things in the people in Japan. I think we also value like kind of being more not flexible with your energy, but knowing where you should expend your energy when you need to and when you can come back. Whereas Japanese people will just be like, give like 1,000,000%, 100% of the time, and that's going to give me the perfect outcome. Whereas what that's going to do, it's going to burn you out and it's not going to give you any room to be flexible. You're going to be strict and like, I have to do it to the maximum every single time. Whereas Canada, you're like, okay, this is some downtime. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do something else. Okay, this upcoming project's going to come. I'm going to give it 140%. Like you're going to do better than like normally would. So that's my opinion. So thank you very much for that question. I'm going to see if there's any other questions, and if there's not, then we're going to call that a live chat. I'm going to refresh this. That was a really good question. So yeah, I do notice a work ethic difference, and I think if I'm to continue working in Japan, I'd really like to work in an office where it's not a Japan office. It's like I'm all for working in Japan and collaborating with people. But yeah, I just don't feel like I want to work in a Japanese-oriented office. I'd prefer working like in a Canadian office in Japan. That's just my thoughts. But anyway, guys, thank you for your questions. I had a good time. It was a short chat, but we'll do this again. I'll try to do it next week as well. And thank you guys again for your time, and I look forward to chatting with you guys again. じゃあね。